And we're back.
Welcome back to Beyond the Signs podcast.
I'm your co-host, 𝐅𝐻𝐋𝐋𝐿.
And I'm your fellow co-host, 𝐅𝐻𝐋𝐋𝐿.
And today we're going to actually be talking about, should you take a social media hiatus?
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Yep. That
Okay.
is the topic for sure.
Oh, Kira, did you want to know that today we actually have a sponsor for this video?
Do we?
Yeah. I didn't tell you?
Please enlighten me. Who's a sponsor?
Hyro.
You mean your company?
Yeah, but they're sponsoring us.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Thanks, Hyro. You guys are sick. I've been using Hyro's R filter for like 2 years.
Well, they didn't even know the product. Let me tell them product.
I'm sorry. Oh.
Don't worry. That's the point of this case. I love this case. So this is actually a case that I designed personally for the R filter. The way it works is that they're magnet. It holds the filter in there, cushioned by a soft foam, right? And what's crazy is that you can actually see yourself. So you can see whatever is behind there, but you can actually see it's a mirror.
That's been on my camera for almost every shoot for like 2 years.
And let me just specify that it's a one-way mirror, so you actually see through it. The camera does. And the great part about it is that a lot of you can use it for vlogging, game streaming, whatever you use a camera for, Zoom calls, like if you use your actual DSLR, and it works exactly like a filter, like a CP, UV, and ND filter. And the great part about it has like some also other benefits, as like it acts like a polarizer by bringing it to a stop down and making the color saturated, and also adds like a nice flare if you use like lights like these and like hit it in a creative way. So it has multiple uses, but we're marketing it as only a reflective filter that you're able to view yourself. So it's an aid for you to be confident in front of the camera, kind of like how I have it on this camera right now, and I'm looking at myself, that gorgeous self of me. But anyway, let's get back to the topic.
All right. Thank you, Hyro, for sponsoring this video.
Yeah. So this one, like every other topic, it's personal to me because I actually am on a social media hiatus. Mm-hmm. I deleted all social media, deactivated or like deleted. It's the same thing to me because the app doesn't exist on my phone anymore. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the main reason why is because of the companies I've started or the business ventures that I'm in. And I realized that a lot of it comes from, I'm looking at other people's successes online and all that stuff, and I'm like, wow, that could be me. But the problem is I'm looking at other people and like getting not depressed, but I'm getting like it saying like
you start to compare yourself really easily.
Exactly.
Everybody else. And truthfully, we're not, I mean, I know a ton of people have said this before. I'm not the first, but we're not meant to see like this many people's lives, like their details of their everyday life, like stories, like Instagram stories and everything. Like our brains are not meant to handle that amount of that level of involvement in so many other people's lives through like seeing exactly what they're doing on an hour to hour basis, basically.
That's actually crazy. I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah.
But I know, like,
not healthy.
So for me, like personally, I've been on this hiatus for the past 2 weeks or it's been a month now.
It's been longer than that. Yeah, it's been pretty much a month.
It's been a long month. And the only social media I want to say that I have would be LinkedIn, but
I don't consider that like a social media. I just consider that like a networking business platform.
And that's the only one I keep because that's where like I keep connected with like business people, like depending on like whether it be jobs or whether it be my profile up there as a portfolio, resume, whatever it is, right? And I realized that once you get all that out, your mind is free from a lot and you're focusing on yourself at that point, because like when like how you said it before, but I didn't even put it that way. Like the idea was there, but it wasn't never internalized until right this moment.
Because I totally get it, and I feel the same way, and I understand like why. You're doing this,
and it's crazy, but like also again, it's like for the like anyone watching this or hearing this, right? or listening to this podcast, what is like, everyone has their purpose of being on a social media hiatus. I think it's healthy because the amount of time we've been engulfed in it, like I've been engulfed in it since 2012.
I know, me too, pretty much.
And it's actually real funny because like the moment I took the hiatus was literally the 10-year mark I've been on social media.
Wow.
Right? So by taking myself off, I've told myself that I might like wait until the end of 2022. But I want to see where I take myself far, right? I've been on social media trying to build up my business for the past like 4 years now. And it's gotten me to a certain point. I'm trying to see where I get by the end of this year and seeing how far I go.
Without social media, you mean?
Exactly. Not necessarily, not like the marketing wise and stuff like that. Because I still have those businesses that are like handled by social media.
You just mean for you personally, looking at it, consuming it every day.
Exactly. Me personally, consuming it every day.
Being a consumer, yes.
And also like having someone to like manage it for me. I don't want to even think about it. So anyone who looks at my profile right now, it looks deactivated and it doesn't. I had to like personally go in and say under construction, be back soon.
Yeah.
So basically that construction or rebranding, I want to say, is not rebranding of like the actual brand, but rebranding myself as a person and kind of trying to just get it out of the way.
There we go. Yeah, that's exactly how you described it to me the first time. You told me that was how you said you were rebranding essentially, but I didn't understand what that meant. And now the clarification, I understand what you mean now by rebranding. You're not just, because at first I assumed you meant rebranding your brand and your company and, you know, integrating maybe you into 𝐅𝐻𝐋𝐋𝐖 or a little more or these different things. But now I'm realizing it's a little more of a personal rebranding as well.
Right. And I feel like, I don't know, I get tired, and I think you probably feel it too when like you see family members or friends going up to you like, hey, the photographer, or like, hey, like listen, like I'm more than that. Yeah, I love photography. I love making videos, but like at the same time, like I do a lot more than that. So I think it's more of like out of spite too, to show people, hey, like if you like where, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of other reasons too is like, I just don't like what people see me doing every day, you know? Like,
that's fair.
So like when I put stories up, right, I realized I was trying to validate, like, and everyone's a victim of this, and like by no means is it like bad or negative and stuff like that, but like the whole point of stories is to show like what you're doing for that day, right? So of course no one's going to show the bad in their life. They're only going to show the good, right? And like if there is any bad, it's like usually, oh, pray for me and stuff like that. I realized the whole point of stories is kind of like to validate what you're doing in your life.
Yep.
So like people could say, oh, that's great that you're doing this.
That's
or
so
like,
cool.
Oh
I
my
wish
God.
I was doing that.
Exactly.
Oh, what is that? Where are you? Blah, blah, blah.
But
what
like,
are you doing? You know?
Yeah. And for me, like
creating interest and mystery and you know, wanting people to validation in some way. Yeah, definitely. And everybody's, like you said, falls victim to that.
Exactly.
Because when you constantly are watching everybody else's lives play out and you're comparing yourself to like, oh, I'm not living as cool of a life as somebody else, or I'm not doing what they're doing. I wish I was succeeding in this way like this person is. You like that reflects in what you end up posting.
Yeah, and I kind of show
that energy that you have.
I saw a lot of social media influencers, literally like you meet them in person and all they are is on their phones.
Yeah.
Not majority of them, not most of them. Most of them are actually genuine, right? But majority of them are like, oh, I got to post at this time, or I got to do this, I got to do that. And I'm like, dude, that's so toxic, you know? Like I used to do posts like scheduled posts, but I realized like just doing that alone is also toxic in itself.
I mean, I guess it also depends on how, like if you're actually making income from it and you actually consider it to be like a job of yours, then I get it. But at the same time, I think regardless of where you are on social media and what you're doing on social media, when you are in person with people, I always put the phone away anyway. Like that's just the thing. And you're right. Like some people just genuinely cannot get off their phones because we're so like looped into this cycle of social media and wanting that, like wanting to post and wanting people to like it and comment and caring about all that stuff, and it just gets to be so much so quickly and people don't even realize it.
Right. And what's funny too is that I don't know if you have ever seen any of the controversies of like social media or like influencers out there, but there's so many controversies when it comes to like who's genuine, who's not,
Oh, just
who's
like,
doing it
like
for
drama? Like,
not drama necessarily,
what
but
do you mean
like
controversies?
like as in like sponsorships and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I know I shamelessly plugged my company in there, but like because I believe in like the actual product and all that stuff, but like
you obviously have a lot of people who do sponsorships that they don't truly believe in.
Exactly. And especially with this world that we're in about like NFTs and all that stuff, like you have projects that are actually literally there just to make money and get out. It's
and
not
like
a
crypto, you have people paying celebrities to promote crypto, and the celebrities don't even know that, like, what they're promoting.
Exactly.
They literally
It's
don't know
just
what they're
shamelessly
promoting.
Plugging, like,
right. So if it goes downhill for the crypto, then that blame is on that person.
Exactly. And then they delete everything and like show like no association with it whatsoever. And it's funny too, because like most of these companies that reach out to the influencers will straight up say, hey, this is a scam, but we just need to let you know and we want you to promote it. Here's like,
you think they tell them it's a scam?
Straight up. I've had influencers actually tell me that this actually happens. And it's straight up. They let them know that it's a scam. And then they shamelessly give them money for it. And that's like,
I hope that doesn't happen with every influencer, because I know
maybe
influencers
not all of them.
who have promoted cryptocurrencies that like get slammed for it being like a pump and dump crypto later, and like people lose money from it, and then they get really mad at that person. That person's like, I had no idea. I really hope that they didn't have an idea, because that'd be messed up.
Yeah, no, and what's funny too is
I'm
like
totally surprised. I don't know.
Here's another thing that's shocking that I recently found out, right?
What?
Is that those YouTubers or influencers who like give away a car or anything like that? Mm-hmm. That doesn't really help anyone, like really.
Why does it not help somebody?
Let me explain it to you, right? And this is crazy. I know it might be slightly going off topic, but it's literally like it's a portion or example of the negativity that I want to cleanse myself out of, right? Mm-hmm. Just for the time being. Like for example, like these giveaways for Tesla cars, right? Mm-hmm. You're giving a brand new car to someone who a random person, right? Let's say that person makes an income between the average of 70 to 100 grand, right? That's not going to help them at the end of the day, because here's the thing is that once you get that car, right? Let's say the Tesla it's the top tier. Let's say the model, I want to say, is it the X that's like the one with the wings on it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. So the X, which is like over 100 grand, right? Mm-hmm. So once you win it, right? In the contract that the YouTuber or influencer sends out, it literally states that like all the taxes and all that stuff is on you. We're just giving you the car and that's it. Now the tax at the end of the year, you know how they translate that? Because they're like, well, you won the car. We don't know what to do with it. So we're going to just count it as, instead of making 100 grand this year, you made 200 grand this year. And you get taxed for that.
They really do that.
Yes. So here's a messed up story. It happened before to a teenage girl who's...
What about people who get gifted more than just houses?
They get taxed on that, as that's the income they made. So people who give like $1 million houses, they end up getting screwed over because they're paying taxes on that $1 million.
Why have I never seen anything come out about that? That's crazy.
Because no one wants to tell you that. And that's the crazy part about this whole and I know, like I said, I'm going off topic, but like it's literally the negativity out there. So like what really helps you out is like if these giveaways actually and probably some of them do, but most of them don't, because they don't want to deal with that. If they help out with the taxes at the end of the year, mm-hmm. If they do that, then I think it's more genuine, right? Mm-hmm. But like these giveaways, they only benefit the ones who are already making money.
I mean, there's so much toxicity about things like that, like sponsored posts, giveaways, people doing personal things that are good intention, trying to help people out, but sometimes it doesn't always work out for the best.
Exactly. So like after hearing that, I'm like, I never want to win a giveaway. Like that giveaway is going to screw me up at the end of the year.
I think even more so because I don't see many giveaways on my timeline on a day-to-day basis. But I do consume content like that on YouTube and stuff like that sometimes. Obviously on YouTube there's a ton of
that's what gets
giveaway
the views.
videos and like giving my best friend a car and like all these different things. Yeah, totally. And that just goes to show that like if you're feeling a little bit jealous about something, or not jealous, but just like feeling down that like, I don't know, exciting things like that are not happening for you, like don't, because there's
be glad
always
it's not.
There's always a negative side to a lot of those things involving social media.
Absolutely.
That are motivated by social media, because at the end all of these things are motivated by social media.
Oh, absolutely. And it's funny because like these things like end up hurting you at the end because they're like, shoot, like, well, that sucks, I wish I knew that beforehand.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've been on social media for, I mean, just about as long as you have, and I've never really taken a big break. I mean, I think the past 2 years with the pandemic and everything like that kind of forced me to slow down for sure, and it led me to kind of shift how I view posting on social media on a day-to-day basis, because I think before the pandemic I was posting like so many times a day, and I was constantly going out and like doing all, like putting all the effort into like go take an Instagram picture and like just putting so much effort into social media and posts and things like that. And throughout the pandemic I just kind of realized I don't care, and when I have something to post, I'm going to post, but I'm not going to be scrambling around trying to like, you know, taking time out of my day to go try and find things to create, things to post. Like that's what I do photography for, you know what I mean? Like I create art and I go and do that in that form. I don't need to go do that for my own self or for my social medias or anything like that. Like I don't care anymore.
Right.
But whereas, you know, it's took a while for it to shift like that.
Oh no, it takes time. And I actually just thought of a topic that we can have for next time is like, because I know we've been on social media for almost around the same time, but keep in mind the age difference too. I came on.
Oh, I was thinking about that the minute you said 2012 you started social media. I was like, now how old was I versus you?
Because I just graduated high school.
That's crazy.
So like
I was like 12.
Exactly. So for me, like I've been like in college already, like starting to get used to.
I grew up with the social media. I was exposed to it really young.
And it really developed like maybe after I graduated college. So for me, like, I guess that's why, like, and I'm not saying this could be the only reason why, but there's multiple reasons why I'm disciplined in the way I am, is because social media didn't really develop until after I graduated college and how it is
it
now.
Makes a huge difference.
Right? Because like
maybe that's why I'm not that way. No, I'm kidding.
No,
that's not an excuse.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's the only reason, but like it could be like a sub reason. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it's definitely I mean, social media is obviously a factor. It like the time or the age at which you're exposed to social media plays a huge part in your whole life and your development as a human child and as like a person growing up and going through all these, like, you know, transitions and puberty and all these things. Like, I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's
like
insane. Like the kids now that like are 4 years old and they're just playing with iPads all day. Like I feel so bad for those kids. I feel so bad because they don't even know. They don't know any better and they're exposed to that because their parents are just like, it gets overwhelming to be a parent, I'm sure. And they're just like, here you go. If that's what satisfies you for a few minutes and gives me some peace, here you go. But to the kids growing up with just their face in an iPad instead of just like out doing things. Like
I was telling my mother this the other day, is that I'm never going to let them use an iPad. My mom's like, watch, you're going to regret those words. I'm like, honestly, I probably don't. Because like for me, like I don't mind hearing a yelling kid. At least I know they're alive. You know what I mean? Like I don't like, okay,
I don't know.
I might sound insensitive, but like I'll
I don't know if you'll feel the same way when that actually happens for you, but
for me, like
that's fine for you to say for now.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I don't know yet, and
You don't
this
know
is
yet.
this is how I am now.
Totally.
But like, for example, like if I hear crying baby, like for me, like I don't
Oh,
see.
I can't.
I can't. It's not that I can't handle it. I could handle it,
I
and I'll
can't.
like. It actually,
And I know that about myself.
Yeah,
So
no, and it's more of a soothing sound because for me, it's like at least the baby is alive. You know.
That's such a sweet way to look at it.
You know, like
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, shut that damn baby." I'm like, "Hey, it's not your baby." Like on planes,
Right.
Oh my god, you don't know the
Well, I've
frustration of
experienced
that
the
mother.
worst on planes.
No,
though.
but here's the thing: you don't know the frustration of that mother because she's getting embarrassed that her kid is crying, but she can't control it.
Yeah.
So for
that's
me, like,
true. That's very true.
So for me, like, as
but at
as
least
a person,
like if I see a mom like trying to control it, because I've seen moms that are just sitting there not doing anything.
no, but you have to put it in the perspective of the mother. Like for me, like it's kind of funny because like
if I were a mother, I would be anxious about it, and I'd be like trying to get my kid to, even though you can't control it. I know you can't control it, but I'd be at least like trying. I'd be
right,
like,
but like there's a point where you actually can control it, and sometimes
sure, if that's
just,
your day to day, yeah.
Sometimes
sure.
the baby just needs to cry it out. For me,
And if that time for them to cry it out happens to be on a flight that's 6 hours long or whatever, like that sucks. But yeah, you're right. It's so hard. And
I've stood up multiple times for like guys who are like, shut that baby up. I'm like, hey, if you want to shut that baby up, you can like leave the flight. I've actually got
plane right now.
I've gotten
there you
like,
go.
You can't
standing up for women and their kids.
No, but like it's not even like me like trying to show like women, I love you. But for me, it's like I actually
you're being a gentleman and you're being respectful and understanding, where other people are being disrespectful and not understanding.
Exactly. Like, hey, like I was a baby and I cried.
Right.
Even though
I
like,
probably embarrassed my mom a bunch of times crying in public or doing whatever. Like,
actually, funny story. My mother, like, she claims this, that I've never been the type of baby who actually cried. Like, I've been the quiet baby that, like, even if I got smacked on the head, I would just remain quiet. And that's why they had me tested a couple of times.
Oh no.
Yeah, they thought I was deaf or mute. Because that's actually like scientifically, I think that's an actual like evidence or like a side of like that the kid is deaf or something like that.
Oh my god. Okay. Well,
But that's another topic for next time. We rolled over. Is
it another topic?
I don't know. We just went through with the topic because like
we really went through with that one. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it's really scattered, but this is kind of just how we are. And how we communicate
basis.
And these are the conversations we have when the camera's off. So, I mean, I think this speaks pretty true to us as people.
Yeah. So the verdict at the end of the day, I think it is healthy once in a while to take a social media hiatus. However long really depends on you or on your situation. For me, I think a year at the end of the year is more than enough for me. Maybe longer, who knows? But with that being said, thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button or the bell notification to know when we do post. The social media proofs are up here: the Instagram, Twitter, and the Facebook. So yeah,
none of which Omar are on right now, but
yeah. So I don't even know if you guys are actually.
I'll be on them. So I got you guys. If you have any questions or any ideas for future episodes, anything that you want to see us talk about in the future, please leave a comment. We would love that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And with that being said, bye for now.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
As we say now.
Now, toodaloos.
All right. See you guys next time.